by trade, I'm a toy designer, and I head up, right now, I'm the VP of Innovation at Hasbro Industries. Pretty much, we have to look 2 years out and see what the trends are and the consumer insights and the technologies that can inform Hasbro going into the future to make sure we are providing play experiences that are relevant going forward. So pretty much I oversee a team and also embedded innovators. That's a really good question. I had a colleague who spoke last year, and I was referred because of the topic, which was 3D printing, something I'm really passionate about, and my design team uses all the time.
Okay, and you spoke, your panel already happened.
Yeah, my panel was on how 3D printing and other kind of digital techniques enhance collaboration. Yeah, when a machine, especially when a new machine is added to a bunch of creative people of all different kind of creative disciplines, they get really excited. Just the privilege of using the machine. And you instantly create a maker environment where they're encouraged to think through making, which we love. Yeah, I like that it represents a time we're entering into, which is going from the information age to the creation age, where an individual, ordinary person can soon become a creator themselves and become their own micro-manufacturer is like phenomenally exciting and very disruptive, which I love. Yeah, that's exactly it. I know it makes legal people very nervous. But I find it exciting because it will eventually let the consumers play with our brands, and we have to figure out how to still monetize that, of course, but it's going to be a healthy challenge and exciting. So when people can create objects that they can just really pass over the internet without having a tangible, and then they can grow something that is tangible, that's extremely disruptive because does someone have to go to a store anymore eventually? So I think it amps it up. The stores will have to become more relevant and figure out a reason to go. I think it challenges the creatives and the designers of big institutions to really disrupt themselves. I think it's going to cause more innovation with the users, especially the first user, early adopters, because they're going to collaborate with each other. They're going to form a natural community and exchange concepts and ideas. And now, of course, they can exchange on a global level because the information is all digital, as well as you're making 3D objects. So I believe, especially in the near future, it's going to create forums and places where you go, labs, so to speak, to create together. And then as far as the mass market consumer, I think it will give them the confidence. I think when you talk about craft, you want to offer inspiration and instruction. And I think that a home printer, so to speak, would really give whole families confidence to create together, much in a way that we haven't seen since before the Industrial Revolution, to be honest with you, I think. Yeah, so I think they're still master storytellers. Anybody can tell a story, anybody can sing, but anybody can take a photo now, right? But still, we have photographers who I would argue have to get even better. They say some of the best writers right now are on TV because no one needs to watch TV anymore. So therefore, it's amped up the quality of that storytelling. So I think, Darwinism, the best will survive. The most flexible actually will survive. Anytime you get diversity, diverse thinking, diverse culture, that mashup, so to speak, is one way at achieving a new idea, clearly, right? Different ingredients, you get a different kind of cake. So I think it's pretty simple. I think it's something you don't have to be super deliberate about. It's experimentation, curiosity. So I think for playmakers, it's a natural way we think anyway, because play is all about experimenting with no right answer. It's about finding questions. So I think the notion of collaboration with different mindsets clearly has to produce something unique and, fascinating. I mean, even with our own walls, we're definitely, we struggle. I think people are generally attracted to the same mindset when in hiring practices, and I think you have to make an effort to tease out an unfamiliar combination. Yeah, you have to go the extra mile to make that happen. And then when you do and you see the benefits is when you kind of become addicted to that. My head was just buzzing. When I first walked in, it was nothing like my work environment. There were people in suits with very high IQs. And I felt originally like one of these things is not like that, right? And the ladies' room was kind of empty. So I was like, wow, this is going to be weird for me. But it turns out it's just what I spoke of. I felt like I was probably far left field. And when I heard, for instance, them talk about collaboration in China, and unbelievable. I related so closely to that. We have some of our team members who are in China we work with every day. So that notion of the different mindsets and the different thinking that I experience every day was so helpful. I mean, I took notes furiously, and yeah, very, very exciting to be out of my environment into a very, very different mindset. It was exciting. A lot of these things I've been thinking about in creating a really collaborative, integrated, innovative, holistic approach to my company right now. It's at a pivotal point. I think it was amplified. So the notion of thinking through making was definitely amplified. The notion of creating a physical space as well as that, and as well as that digital space was totally highlighted and amplified for me. So those two offhand are some of the things I'm thinking about, and definitely go back to my notes and see more standout takeaways. But I think in any kind of new realm, such as you know, think of music and Napster, etc., I think there's going to be a lot of issues around protection and ownership, and corporations are going to struggle with the consumer owning and guarding at the same time, and productive companies will have to figure out how to do both. And I think there's going to have to be some leapfrogging, because the technology has kind of been a leapfrog in our artistic process. So we're going to have to do the same thing with legal, etc. So it's going to be fascinating. So one thing that scares me a little bit, and we think about this a lot in the play industry, is that, and I see it in my own work, the sedentary nature that a lot of the digital experiences bring is a little scary, and I hope we wake up to we still need to move around. And I think after we get over the fascination and the native users grow up and realize they have bodies again, I hope and think it will turn around. But I think the deep thinking that's not allowed because of our very distracted, nonlinear environment is concerning. The ability to concentrate and think deeply, and then on the converse side of that, be able to move around more. It's quite simple, but I think that's concerning. I think the technology has been great for our brains, and I'm not sure so far that it's been great for our bodies. So I know we have to be a global company, so we study these issues a lot. I think in our hiring practices we try to be diverse for that reason, because of the emerging nations that really we're concentrating on. I think that maybe 5 years ago there was an effort to be globalized with our product, so make products that everyone can relate to. And subsequently we realized, well, that's not actually possible, but more globalization is kind of the buzzword, but really seeing that there are these kind of primal archetypes that everyone in the world can relate to. What are those? And we're grateful that play experiences have a lot of those awesome common threads. But then be very cognizant of your audience. And we have examples of some of our products that sell great in some countries and not well in others. And we definitely learn from that every day. So getting people into a room together, also letting people be in a room alone is a big aha I've had lately, especially certain people get that energy being more introspective. Giving time to tinker Definitely not having an end goal in mind, which is very hard for corporations. And all of those things, I think the internet's been awesome for designers in that you can be stimulated from all parts of the world instantaneously. So that's been great. So yeah, a lot of ingredients going in.